Thank you so much for just taking the time to talk to us. Maybe you can start by, telling us who you are and what you do.
Okay, great. So my name is Ahren. I'm the CEO and a co-founder of Momint. Momint is an NFT social media platform that we've built. We did the quickest seed raise in South African history, I think, where we got a $2.1 million valuation in about 2 weeks. So that was amazing. And we've built a platform. We're available on the Android and iOS stores. We're a platform for creators, by creators. And yeah, we want to make NFTs accessible to everyone, not just those with the technical background and know-how.
Awesome. We did a story on Momint a while back, which was quite impressive.
You guys did, and it was exceptional, which is why I was so keen to do this interview, because you guys have really such a great high quality channel. I'm sure you guys are gonna become big as well. So yeah.
Thank you as well for just following our work. I think Ahren, we can just go straight into NFTs. Of course, that's the space you play in. Maybe you can tell us, in your own opinion, what your opinion is on NFTs and the state of NFTs in South Africa.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm going to skip a little bit of the explainer on what NFTs are, because I think I've seen some of the content that you guys have put out on your channel already, and I'm sure your viewers know what we're talking about: non-fungible tokens, digital assets that can have true ownership attributed to them. So I think I'll speak from a personal standpoint on what really got me excited about NFTs, or made me aware of the fact that NFTs are an inevitable future. I think a lot of people are still questioning, what are NFTs? Why are they important? Yeah, okay, so I can own a file, but I could also just screenshot it. Like, why do I care? What got me really excited about it is that this technology tackles a problem that we've had around on the internet since the dawn of the internet, since torrenting became a thing and everyone was just downloading MP3s. Ownership on the internet has been a wild, wild west. And I think it was necessary. We started off with creating a technology that allowed us to share infinitely, share openly, and with no restrictions. And now we're beginning to realize, okay, that's great. And that has enabled an amazing economy and an amazing advancements for humanity in a really short space of time. But now it's time for us to move on to the next phase of this, where we go, okay, cool, we can share, but let's give everyone the power to control what they share, to actually have ownership over the things that they put out there, and for us to be able to attribute a history on that. And I think it's just so amazing that cryptocurrency has kind of spurred the birth of this new age in content and in sharing on the internet. And I think the two are going to be completely unrelated. And I think that's one thing that the industry is still suffering from, is that they believe cryptocurrency and NFTs are the same thing, or that they belong in the same class. But the truth is that they don't. If cryptocurrency tanks, there's still so much benefit and utility out of like an asset ledger for a digital content. I think it's the next natural progression.
Yeah, it's actually interesting you mentioned that, because even despite the market crash, adoption of NFTs has continued to go up, which is quite interesting, actually, like you mentioned. And I think that brings us into, the next question. Where or how was Momint born?
Yeah, so myself and my co-founders, we're avid entrepreneurs and techies ourselves. My co-founder and myself, Ahre, have known about NFTs for a little while. But I think when the Beeple sale happened and he sold his 5,000 days for $69 million, and that was worldwide news, I think that was almost a wake-up call to not only us, but many people in the industry to go, wow, like there's something here. And we started doing what we just did naturally, which is whenever we start to speak about a concept or an idea, we start to form it into a business. And we think about how would we run this? How would we take the direction? How would we build it? And the more we spoke and we debated, we were literally like arguing with one another. No, like that doesn't make sense. Yes, like this would work. And we just started to hone in on, okay, cool. So what if we're in a little bit of evaluation bubble? And I want to make a big differentiator there between a valuation bubble and an adoption bubble, right? So if you think about the debt bubble or the financial crisis, that was because there was so much debt and so many people were affected. With NFTs, it's not like that. And I've seen many news stories going, yeah, the NFTs are in a bit of a bubble. And I would say yes, but only for valuations. And by that, I mean, I don't think that NFTs are going to continue to sell for $69 million $100 million, and that's going to keep going. But less than, we actually did the math on this for our projections, but less than 0.000000007% of the internet accessible world has ever interacted with a blockchain or an NFT. So how is it possible for us to say that this is a bubble? Barely anyone's even had the opportunity to interface with the technology or to see what its benefits are. So what we thought about was there's going to be a drive in volumes of NFTs, and there's going to be a dip in value, right? But I think that the drive in volume will be a lot more bullish than the dip in value. And that's where something incredible can be born. And we literally stopped and we were like, guys, we're talking about this idea, but now it's forming into something really amazing, something really incredible. We spoke about how we can help creators get royalties. All of us have been creators in the past. I was assigned to a record label as a musician. My other co-founder, Adam, was a Twitch streamer. My other co-founder, Josh, was a YouTuber. Don't go look him up. He had long emo hair. And our initial investor, Rob Hersoff, of course, has so much experience in rights management and how dark the underbelly of that world can be, and how creators can completely lose out because of the way that rights management works. And NFTs really give us the power to cut out all the middlemen. You don't need royalty collection companies. You don't need management companies. You don't need a label. It's written in a smart contract and it's automated. If somebody buys your creation, it's distributed to you by default. You know, it's autonomous and it's incredible. And we just said we need to stop everything and we need to do this. And that's how Momint formed.
Wow, awesome. I didn't know you're actually an artist. So that's actually good to know.
Yeah, don't go look me up either. My songs aren't that great.
All right, great. Ahren, also now diving into Momint.
Yeah.
I know Momint is quite unique in certain features that you guys have on the platform. Maybe you can break down to us how those features look like and, and why, you had those features on Momint.
For sure. So this is something that I'm more and more passionate about and more excited about every day, because we're working really, really hard behind the scenes, losing a lot of hours of sleep. But the list of things that we do that no other competitor does is just becoming longer and longer, and it's becoming really exciting. So you asked about what are some of the features and how does Momint work? So the sign-up process takes about 2 minutes. If you've never had a crypto wallet or anything before, you don't need to worry. We generate an Ethereum wallet for you, and we allocate that to your profile. So at the moment, it is a custodial wallet if people are concerned about that, but we're moving to completely non-custodial literally within the next month. And we may provide an option for users to choose whether they want to manage their private keys or not. For those who don't know what this means, basically you have a wallet that lives on the blockchain and you use your private key to access the assets that you hold in there. It could be cryptocurrency or it could be NFTs. Now, we manage the security of that on your behalf, and you sign in with the username and password. But we're moving to giving all the private keys to the users so that it's completely within their control. But each user does have their own wallet, and it does belong to them, unlike some of the competitors. And then if you browse the platform and you see some content or artwork that you like, it's as simple as putting in your credit card details and purchasing it. And that works internationally. So that's also something that I don't think any of our competitors are really doing. People expect you to come onto the platform owning some ETH or Bitcoin or whatever currency they're dealing in, then you can only purchase using your MetaMask or your private key in that way. And I think that's quite restrictive. And like I said, not a lot of people understand this technology or have had a chance to interact with it. And we really want to make it as easy as possible. We're trying to ease the on-ramp into NFTs and into blockchain technology and make it a lot more accessible for everyone. So that's a little bit about how Momint works. And then also in terms of posting. So if you are a content creator or an artist, or you create digital files that you think are valuable, the posting process is literally as simple as clicking on post, selecting your file and defining some of the rules that you want to put on it, and then you post it and it's done. It literally takes less than 5 minutes. And some of the rules that you can define there, which are really, really cool, is the royalty split. So for example, you could find any other charity or user or agent on the platform, and you can automatically split your royalties with them in perpetuity. So if you create something on our platform and it gets sold, you get all of the revenues, right? We take a 15% cut. Then if that thing gets resold to other users, then you get a 10% royalty on every resale, clean. Now you can choose to split that royalty with a charity or another creator of your choice. So if you and I, for instance, did a collaboration and we were both artists, and we posted something on the platform, we could literally do a 50-50 royalty split, and that would happen automatically in perpetuity, which I think is really amazing and really cool. The other thing that you can do is specify how many editions you want to sell. And we do something quite unique here where you can specify how many editions you want. So the first edition is like the prized possession for you, the creator, and you hold on to that, and you set a price that you'd like to sell this first edition for. Every other edition that you specify, and again, these are optional, you can do 1 extra, 2 extra, or 20 extra editions. Those are all collectible by your fans, your supporters, the people who really care about your content. And they can collect one of those copies, and they optionally can tip you any amount that they like. So this is kind of like a Patreon model where the fans support you. But again, it just makes it so much more accessible, because I'm sure you understand you have lots of viewers and lots of fans, and not all of them are extremely wealthy or can afford a $69 million NFT. So it's really cool to be able to give them kind of like a print copy. If you went to the Louvre in France and you looked at the Mona Lisa, that would be great. But you can't afford to buy the Mona Lisa from the Louvre. But of course, you could go to the gift store and buy a copy, and you can put that up in your house, and that's really great. So it's kind of like that concept. Those print copies also make the original Mona Lisa more famous, by the way, because more people get to see those copies. So if it's kind of like a little bit of a growth hack if you are a creator, to do as many editions as possible, because people will collect them. And the more people collect them, the more other people will see those copies and will know about maybe your first edition and want to purchase that.
I also know that your platform also allows people to actually purchase with fiat, right?
Correct.
Which is quite unique from the other platforms. Maybe you can also touch on that.
Sure. We're primarily focusing on fiat purchasing because it's just about access. We want more people to be able to participate in this marketplace. I think NFTs, especially right now, because it's such a new industry, if you can get into, I mean, everyone knows with crypto, if you can get in early, it's benefits all around. But it's so difficult to get into crypto when you first of all have to figure out how to generate your wallet. Then you've got to find a crypto exchange. You've got to purchase currency. Maybe if you want a different currency, you've got to go through multiple exchanges. And it just becomes quite a cumbersome burden. So we wanted to make it as easy as possible to jump right on, put in their credit card details and buy an NFT and own something.
I think I kind of liked that angle that you took, which to me, I think was definitely unique. Now let's talk about the blockchain that you guys are using. Tell us about the blockchain of choice that Momint decided to go with, and possibly the reason why.
So we decided to go for the XDAI blockchain, which is a level 2 chain of Ethereum. The reasons for this, the benefits of this are really, really many. So one of them is that minting costs are far more stable. And with stable costs, that means that we can accurately predict how much it's going to cost. There's a little bit of fluctuation, but we can accurately predict how much it's going to cost for each NFT that we mint. So we actually shoulder that cost on behalf of the users, and that kind of justifies a little bit of a cut that we have to take on tips and purchases down the line. But so it's completely free to mint and post through Momint. And the reason why we chose XDAI is because we've also created a token bridge so that we can bridge your NFTs onto the Ethereum mainnet if you'd like to. And that's only possible because it's an L2 chain of Ethereum. It's also a proof of stake model, which is incredibly important because one of the issues around the blockchain at the moment is how bad for the environment it really can be. And I think a lot of people have spoken about the negative impact of Bitcoin specifically on the environment because of how much energy computers are using in order to participate in the network. But with a proof of stake model, it is quite literally 2.4 million times more energy efficient than Bitcoin mining. It's 1.2 million times more efficient than Ethereum currently. ETH 2.0 will change that. But it's even 300 times more efficient than Visa. like just swiping a card. So all of the transactions, obviously after the fiat on-ramp, are far more efficient. And really that was a big factor in us choosing that blockchain, as well as the fact that it's pegged to the dollar as a stable coin. So those are the reasons why we went for that blockchain.
It sounds like it was a very calculated decision, obviously. Yeah, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about NFTs as well, as an asset class. We know that there has been issues around proving ownership and authenticity of NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
How are you solving this, or how are you going around this?
So what we do is that we have a little bit of a KYC process with Momint. So we know who the users are and where they come from. And also we get all of our users to agree to a legal disclaimer that they do own either the content that they've created it themselves, or that they have the relevant rights. So still a lot of trust is placed into the users. And unfortunately, that's the only way a social media site can go, where we completely trust the users to be posting content that they do own. But we do have reporting functionalities in place and procedures in place that can up on plagiarism and stolen content, and we can immediately remove those and have action be taken on the users who posted it. And we are also working on some really cool automated capabilities to detect this. So fortunately, AI has come a long way in the last literally 2 years. And it's relatively simple now to do some image processing or video processing and just detect if it's a video or an image that has come from an existing source on the internet.
So in other words, we can expect some more features in terms of how to authenticate NFTs.
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely. You can expect a boatload more features. Like I said, we're working day in, day out.
All right. Awesome. We know that you've obviously worked with some reputable names out there in South Africa. Mind, telling us some of these names that you've worked with, and also who you are looking to work with as well?
So we've worked with Brian Abana, who's almost like South Africa's darling sweetheart. If any of your viewers in America, we often compare, when we're speaking to American people, we often compare him to Tom Brady. Yep. He's like South Africa's Tom Brady. We've worked with AB de Villiers, which is like the cricket equivalent. We've worked with the Kiffness, who's just producing some amazing content lately, and he's absolutely blowing up all over the world. We've done NFT with Goldfish as well. We're in talks with a number of other people. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to name a lot of them, some of the especially much bigger ones. But we did have a very interesting, great conversation with Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, where we actually sold him an NFT of a pen, which was really exciting.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That was a memory I'm gonna have for most of my life. I'm gonna keep that dear.
I mean, is the pen on Momint as well? So we can actually go and check out what he bought.
No, so this is part of the phase 2 kind of rollout that we're busy planning. So the phase 1 kind of rollout was a lot of South African A-name superstars. And as we're scaling up and going more global, we have multiple phased approach, almost like Marvel does. And we're just going to be rolling out more and more as we go along.
I know you've launched this year, and I know you're still growing. Do you mind sharing some of your numbers and possibly volumes and the number of users on Momint so far?
Sure. So we've got over 2,500 users across 69 countries in the world. We've done about $30,000 in sales, and we're only about 3 months old. So this is literally our third month anniversary. And I think the first 2 months were really in quite a close-knit, closed beta. So things have gone really well. And I think I'm exceptionally grateful for the position that we've been in and the growth that we've experienced so far. We only anticipated to go a lot more exponential from here. And everything is lining up to show us that is true. So that's really fun and exciting. But yeah, we've done almost 3,000 NFTs on the platform already.
In 3 months?
Yeah.
Quite impressive. That's quite impressive. Yeah, now speaking of numbers and the volumes, and I know you've, of course, touched on what you guys are working on in terms of AI and other features. What else can we look forward to, in terms of the roadmap for Momint in 2021 and beyond?
Yeah, so we're working on some cool features such as packs. So everyone, NBA Top Shots has shown us that people really have an appetite for purchasing NFT packs, and there's a big community behind that. So that's a feature that we're thinking about introducing fairly soon. Another one is something that nobody in the industry has gotten right yet. And I don't know if I should be mentioning it, but we're really excited to be working on secrets NFTs. So these are NFTs that are going to be completely encrypted to the public and can only be viewed by the current owner. It sounds like a fairly simple concept, but the technology that goes behind that and enabling that securely is actually very, very advanced. But we're excited about that feature because we think it just opens up a world of possibilities. I think in the nearer term or in the shorter term, we're giving creators the ability to assign specific legal rights onto the content that they sell. So as a simple example, if you made a really great song or an animation and a company wanted to purchase that from you so that they could use it on their cereal boxes or wherever they wanted to do it, you could assign commercial rights onto those things. And this is a little bit of an important point for us because our platform is always and forever going to be completely ad-free. That's one of our value propositions. So we will never be shoving ads in users' faces. We won't have pop-ups or videos that you're forced to watch. Of course, advertising is a great revenue stream for content creators. So we still want to enable them to receive that benefit. But the advertisers or the big corporates who buy these things can then have the rights to use those off of the platform. You could also just assign simpler rights to that, such as personal use. So anybody who buys or owns your NFTs, it's completely theirs, but it cannot and will not ever be used for commercial rights because a lot of creators don't want their work to be put on cereal boxes or in adverts. And we want to enable them to do that really simply and really easily. So that's something we're doing in the very short term, as well as adding additional downloads. So if you wanted to create an NFT, of course, we'll serve a compressed, optimized version on the app for ease of use. But if you own it, you'll be able to download the full high resolution file from IPFS, which is interplanetary file system, which is how we store all of our files on a separate blockchain that ensures that they're never tampered with and they can never be destroyed or modified without your consent. And along with that, there'll be additional downloads. So you could say anyone who owns this NFT also gets a copy of my PDF. Maybe it's a workout program. Maybe it's a 3 months Xbox Game Pass. Like, I don't know. This is the exciting part about it. All of us in the office literally go like, this feature is going to be great, but we don't know why. Our users will figure out what they're going to attach to the files and what additional downloads they're going to give or what benefits they're going to give to the owners of those NFTs. And we're just excited to see what they do with it. We don't even know why it's going to be so great yet, but I just know people.
I mean, just hearing you talk about the upcoming features already gets me excited about Momint. I can't wait to see what you guys, do 2021 and beyond. And Ahren, as we close, maybe my last question would be, what advice would you give to creators, artists, or anybody who's just creating for the NFT space? What's that sage advice that you'd have for them?
Yeah, great. So I think the advice that I would give to creators is not too dissimilar to what I would give to an entrepreneur, right? I think one of the most important things to do to push yourself into a mindset where you create what you do what you enjoy doing. And you have to have a mindset to like, just get it out there, just push it, get it out there, let people see your content, and also market yourself. I think that's something that I've seen a lot of creators sort of struggle with is they create this incredible, amazing artwork. We had someone on the platform named Cryptic Visuals, young guy, makes incredible, beautiful artwork, 3D displays. And he really struggled to get himself out there and to market himself. And that was so sad to see because his content was so great. So we gave him a little bit of advice. We do have a creator community on Discord. So if anyone wants to go and check that out, please join it. So we gave him some advice and we helped him to market himself as well. And his sales just started going through the roof. So I would say to creators, don't be afraid to advertise yourself, put yourself on your Instagram, tell people about what you're doing, show it, get yourself out there. And that's really going to help. That's really going to help you go forward in driving your passion and continue doing what you love to do ultimately.
Just one last one. How about for entrepreneurs in the space?
Yeah, so entrepreneurs in the space, I'm just going to say outright, it's going to be a challenge, man. Like, it's going to be really, really hard. People in the space are super expensive and super rare. I think it's well known in the tech sector. I've got a lot of friends running alternative tech businesses, not necessarily in blockchain, and it's well known that developers are in a short supply, and it's really hard to find good devs. Now, with that shortage already there, imagine trying to find a smart contract writer or a blockchain developer. It's going to be incredibly hard to find. So my advice is to upskill yourself. Just go and learn. Don't look for someone. Just try and learn yourself. You know, find YouTube tutorials, find courses on Udemy. This is not a paid promotion or whatever. But try and upskill yourself and learn how to do it yourself. I think you're going to get somewhere a lot quicker than if you try and lean on others to get to reach your goals. And yeah, I think just one last note from my side is Momint has also been working on a documentary underneath the scenes from day one when we started this company. So be looking out for a web series that we're going to be releasing in small little bites. And yeah, you'll be able to follow the journey really closely, and yeah, we'll see where we go.
Awesome. I can't wait to see that. Yeah, so for viewers who want to follow Momint and what you guys are doing, where can they find you?
Awesome. So you can find us on Instagram, Momint app. You can find us on our own app, Momint. You just go to momint.so or just search for Momint spelled with an I. So it's Momint. It's really important because you mint things in the blockchain. You can Google us there. We have a website, and please join the Discord. We have a great community on Discord going where people share their content, share ideas, tell us what they'd like to see in the app next, and we build those. Some of the features we've literally had a one-day turnaround on. So we're really excited to hear what creators need and give that to them. You know, we really want to enable creators in the space.
Thank you so much, Ahren, for talking to us. We really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, can't wait to see the episode.